let's say that 4 officials are there in today's
But why do you want to take this?
Exactly.
They told that there is one. But you don't know if there is one.
Jai Hind everyone. I wish you all a happy Holi, and in today's video, which is part of the series of videos regarding the group testing battery, today we will deal about the group planning exercise. Group planning exercise is the second task of the group testing battery, and it happens to be part of the competition stage of the group development principle which the theory talks of. Now, it is in this task wherein you will keep competing with your group mates for various aspects which you will come to know, which I am going to tell you now. It is also the phase of abstract planning, wherein you practical planning is seen in the tasks like PGT, half group task and things like that. In this task, we are talking of abstract planning, basically in a synthetic situation. The exercise consists of a situational problem or problems which are given on a model to you, wherein initially you will try to give out your individual solution, and thereafter you will be giving your contribution to the group to arrive at a agreed group solution which will be given to the GTO after the group discussion is over. Now, it has got, as I told you, it has got two phases, the individual phase and also the group phase. Now, I will first explain you the manner in which the GTO is going to conduct it. Initially, he will brief you. While he is briefing, kindly listen to the briefing carefully, and if you have any doubt in the part of conduct, you can get it clarified. He will basically let you know the stages in which he is going to conduct. I will explain to you. The first stage will be explanation of a model, which will be done after he briefs you. Okay. Now, once he explains the model, there is a particular procedure which I will tell you. After he explains the model, then he will read a story from a sheet of paper, which you can call it, which he will call it narrative or story sheet, whatever it is. There will be this reading will not be adequate for you to grasp all the features of the problem. So he will ask you to read the story sheet for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, he will take the story sheets back. Then you are required to write down your individual solution in a time of 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, he will collect your answer sheets, and thereafter he is going to ask you to discuss as a group for 10 to 15 minutes to arrive at a agreed group solution. And when the time is over, or even before that, if you come to any consensus, you are required to nominate one of the members of your group who will tell the GTO what the group solution is all about. Okay. Another aspect you should remember is that there are no special marks given for the person who is concluding the group solution to the GTO. Okay. Now, explanation of the model. As far as the model explanation is concerned, I will show you one of the models which I had made when I was trying to learn this technique. So, in this, the most important thing which he will tell you is the manner in which you are going to orientate yourself. In this case, this direction which he is marking, which is already marked, is showing the north direction. Okay. Now, after seeing the direction, the second thing which you must get into is the scale of the model. So, generally in the selection boards, you will find that 1, centimeter or 1 inch or something like that will be told is equal to, or rather 5 centimeters is equal to 1 kilometer. Let's say this is the scale of the model. Now, if this is the scale of model, what it means is, if the scale is 5 centimeters is equal to 1 kilometer, 5 centimeters in this will be equal to 1 kilometer on the ground. Thereafter, he will explain the color code, wherein he will explain the natural features, like he will say there is a jungle here or there are some hills out here, and he will say that there is a water body. Water bodies are generally blue in color. So he will cover the natural features, and thereafter he will talk of man-made features like a metal road, which is this thick red line, or a railway line, or a unmetalled road, pagdandi or a kacha track, and things like this will be explained. And he will also tell you the places which are inside the model, and he will talk of the places which are outside the model also. And it will be marked like this, wherein there is a place called Birpur, which is a particular distance if you go by road, and there is a different distance if you go by the railway line. Okay, now this is how he's going to explain the model, and thereafter he will ask you if you have any doubts. If there are any doubts, you can get them clarified. See, once he finishes this job, he will not let you ask the questions to the GTO. In that case, if you have any doubts, he will tell you that you can ask your group members. Okay. Then the second portion will be the narrative portion, wherein he is going to read it. Now, when he reads, he will take a normal pace when he is reading. Try to remember certain important aspects, like what is the purpose for which the group is operating, and it starts with, you are a group of students returning to some place. Now, if it is returning to some place, now you know the purpose of that. Then you are coming from which place to which place. A lot of children or a lot of students or a lot of candidates, they miss out on this. They don't know from which place they are going. Okay, now if you miss out on this, then you will find your solution will be in jeopardy. Okay, then mode of conveyance. Now in this case, he is talking of in a hired bus. Okay, he's saying that we are going in a hired bus. Now you will find that mode of conveyance will be told, and please don't expect the story sheet to be in any other language other than English. It will be in English only, and there will be a few problems in the solution in the story sheet. Like in this case, he's talking of some injured man, some railway line, some miscreants are trying to do something, and probably a minister's vehicle is getting targeted, somebody's father's camera is missing. So these are the aspects which you start noticing while reading only. If you can grasp this, it will help you in the subsequent time. Okay, and thereafter there will be certain aspects which you should remember while is doing. Time now is 4:30 p.m. Now there is some passenger train which starts at a particular time. So these are the other things which you should be looking for, and it generally ends with saying that phone and mobile services are down in the area because of a recent storm, and then he will say, placed under these circumstances, what actions will you take? Now when the GTO reads, the assimilation will be limited and it is natural. So what he is going to do is, he will ask you to read the story sheet for the next 5 minutes. Now when he is reading the story sheet, he is not going to give you any chit pad, or he will not let you to note down anything. Please don't be stupid in writing down on your hands and all. That need not be done, and that is not required either. Okay, now each candidate will be given his own copy to read. He can look at the model. Please look at the model and correlate the time, correlate the distance, and try to absorb all the features. Okay, and then after 5 minutes, the GTO will take back the story sheet. Now in this case, you are a group, as I told you previously, you are a group of students from some place going for a picnic to the boat club on your bicycle. So you know that this become part of your resources while you solve the problem. Okay, Now you know that you're on bicycles. You know that one. Your hostel gates close at 6 p.m. So that becomes your purpose. That after doing all the jobs, you may have to reach your hostel. So that becomes that part. And he's given some timing. Somebody is bleeding from head. Some fish plates are being targeted, or some fuel depot is being targeted. Somebody's lost his wallet. So there are different problems which you will have to assimilate. And thereafter, in the end, he writes out that time now. So you know from this time to this time, you have to perform all the tasks within that time. So this aspect should be remembered. Now while writing, after he takes back the narrative sheets, then he will ask you to write down the individual solution. Don't try to see what the others are doing. Write down your solution. And while writing the solution, he is not going to tell you any specific template. I know there are a number of templates which are given in the uh, media, and there are no negative marks for writing in a particular way. It will become difficult for you if you draw diagrams. I have seen in my testing times where somebody is trying to pictorially solve the problem, or he's going to give me a graph, or he's trying to. So you don't have to make that much effort because you got only 10 minutes and you will have to cater for all the aspects of the solution which you are giving. Now in this case, somebody has written his chest number is 8. Now he's saying, suppose we are a group of 5 students. Now this is not being realistic because his chest number itself is 8. So he knows that there are 8 candidates. Now he is assuming that there are 5 friends. So see, maybe this is not the right approach to do that. Okay, then he is using some pagdandi, or see, most importantly, your written expression comes out here to the GTO, wherein you will find that he is not a psychologist. He is not going to analyze the thing with respect to the psych technique. What he will see here is that how are you attempting the problem, and he will correlate with your discussion part. Okay. Now in this, there will be no mutual discussions which will be permitted. What the GTO expects is a sensible solution to the problem or problems which are there, which are realistic in nature. Okay. Now the last part will be that will you be able to complete your own plan of solving the problems within the given time. Okay, so you have to be brief and to the point. Okay, now I will give you a few inputs on certain aspects on how to write the solution. Okay, now when you are writing the solution, this boy has decently, he has tried to arrange the problems, and he has then given the problems, solutions, and then probably he has tried to conclude it. Okay, which is fairly fine. And while doing the solutions, he is saying we inform them about the robbery plot and go with them to the bank to assist them. So he's not just informing, he is ensuring also by assisting them, and he is totally involved. So when you are doing, or when you are solving the problems, your involvement also matters, and to what extent will you do. Okay, and whether that involvement is realistic or not also is seen. Okay, now going on to the next one. Now there is another candidate where he has probably he has prepared well, I would say. Maybe he has gone to a some institute, or he's taken some professional help. So he's tried to give a very good solution, or probably within his limited or rather within his approach, he's gone in a systematic way. I would not say whether it is good or bad. I would say he's gone in a systematic approach. So in this systematic approach, he has given the problems. He's also mentioned the resources. He has told how he is dividing the group, and he's saying on priority, I'm going to do things. Okay. And thereafter, he has mentioned time at times. See, he sent they can reach there by 4:45 and hospitalize somebody or whatever is the action. Again, he has mentioned time here. And he will also say in the end that all of us will meet and then go to the place where we are designated to go. So he has been able to, when I say this is probably a person who has thought about it, he's practiced it, and probably he's tried to give the best possible solution which he feels. Okay. Now there is another aspect which comes out while when it comes of power of expression as an OLQ. When we see, you know that certain people have, I would say, there are two aspects. One is the written aspect, the written expression, and the other aspect is your probably the verbal or the non-verbal expression which you do. Now, all three aspects are seen by the GTO here. If your grammar is poor, like I remember one of the candidates, he had written the spelling mistakes, simple thing like road. He's written RODE as road. See, now the aspect is maybe he's under pressure. You will be under pressure of time that you want to give the best solution and you want to complete the solution which you have written. Okay. A number of candidates might be having the solution, but they will not have the time to finish it off. Okay. That aspect also comes here. Now he is talking of 10 friends and there were only 8 candidates in this group. Now he is assuming things. So there are certain assumptions which he is doing which may not be as per the situation which is happening. So you will find that there are each candidate will give out by his written solution. There are so many inputs which are got by the GTO, and you will see that we generally get to know the grasp of the situation, whether the grasp of the candidate is complete, partial, or he is not able to prioritize properly. So these kind of things come out. The aim, has he considered the aim, or he has just got drifted away, or priorities, is his priorities lopsided, or he's haphazard in the allotment of priorities, like what needs to be done initially or what is most important, he's doing it in the end. So these kind of things will come out, and then is he wasteful in his resources, or is he able to find out certain hidden resources which are there. So these kind of aspects also are seen, and then you will, his estimation of time and distance, is this realistic, or he just doesn't consider time and distance, he just assumes. Okay, now these aspects do come, and whether the solution finally, is it practical, or is it realistic, or is it just wishful. So these kind of things are seen by the GTO in the written portion, and also in the discussion also it comes out. I will just give you some inputs regarding the approximate speeds. See, again here, the distance and time aspect, if you are prepared, maybe you will be able to give a realistic solution. Now, if you see a train or a car, it's generally about 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. Now, if you convert that per minute, it will be 1 kilometer will be 1.25 to 1 minute on a, like if it is a metal road. See, now you have to discriminate if the road is good or if there is a guard section there. How do you actually estimate the time and distance? Okay, suppose if the road is going through the hills, the speed will obviously reduce. Do you have the appreciation of this aspect? That also comes out. See, now if you're going by a tractor, you will say that okay, it's going by at a speed of 20 kilometers. If you're going by a village boat, or if you're going by a speed boat, the speed varies, and your estimation of distance and time is clearly seen here. Now if you are walking, see, suppose you say that you are walking or running, if you can walk or run, or rather I would say for 2 kilometers or 1 kilometer or something, or a distance like that, if you are expecting your uh, teammates to run for 20 kilometers or something like that, so the speed will drastically reduce and it may not be as realistic plan. Okay, and then cycle, So 12 kilometers per hour. So you are saying that 1 kilometer will be in 5 minutes. So this is what you will have to estimate, and depending on the situation there, at times I have seen that the speed of the river, somebody has drawn a river and then he's put a very big arrow showing the direction of the stream or the river. Now because this thing is very long arrow does not mean that the speed is going to be very high. You have to be realistic in your assumptions. Okay. Now, as far as the planning is concerned, you are then required to discuss among yourselves mutually to get on to a agreed group solution. Now, while working out the group solution, what is your contribution? How are you dealing with others' point of view, and how are you able to express your point of view? This is the absolute competition stage. See, in the group discussion, or which is called as the exploration or the formation stage, in that you are not fighting as much. You will be doing here to get your plan approved by the group. Okay, so that is why the competition stage which we spoke of. Each candidate attempts to convince others to accept his solution. Free hand will be given to the group to discuss and arrive. Remember here that your aim is to contribute positively towards achieving a better group solution. Okay. Now, somebody will be nominated by the group, and if your contribution is fair, you will be, or you may be getting nominated, and you need not worry if the group is nominating you or not. I have seen some people get very restless and they try to actually do things which are not desirable. So you should maintain your discipline, and also you should be fair in your discussion. Okay. Now, there are a number of things which you must know. See, somebody might have a good plan, but it may not be accepted by the group. It is a possibility. Or somebody will have an average plan, but he is able to take the group along, and others accept his group because his acceptability is better, or maybe his ability to influence the group is on a higher scale than the person who is got good plan but not able to convince. Okay. Now, there might be somebody who takes inputs from others and makes a superior plan, or there could be somebody who seizes the other plan and try to take credit for himself. Okay, these are all possibilities. Okay, and the objective here is to achieve a group plan, and how objective his plans are, or is he just giving wishful indications. So these things come out in the group discussion. Now let's have a brief look on how things appear to the GTO, or because once you are finding yourself part of the discussion, you may not be seeing what actually the other people are speaking, because it's a dynamic situation, but this is how it appears. I'll give you a brief input.
Uh, let's say that 4 officials are there, including
Why do you want to take that chance?
Exactly.
It is certain that there is a police station only one. But you don't know if there is one in
Just listen out.
Their lake officially only at 4:15,
Yeah.
so we have a lot of time.
Just listen out, guys. Like, for example, we have 3 police officials. So people with us. One guy will go with 1 or 2 police officials to photos and catch the 2 waiting ones. Just in case these guys make hear that the person will that the police official here will catch all of them. Just in case that doesn't happen and the other 2 police directly to the district, they are already there waiting for the entry.
Okay.
So yeah, good. So I was trying to say that and it's done.
Okay.
Now there is only 1 person here, and
When this one person here is assuming multiple, is taking multiple roles, that is informing the police officials.
that is the possible
Informing the officers.
police.
But you don't know if there is a police station. Fine, if agreeing that there is a police station there, and there is a chance that it's not there. So you need to have.
Then the higher one is
Alibar, it is certain that there is a police
How much
station.
time will it take to call out the officer and get the
That is least.
That is
important.
that is
There are
yeah.
lives at stake over here.
Yeah,
There is-
we have let's count the number.
See, coconut and hostel is least important right now.
Let's count the number. 2 have gone.
Now you will find that this is how it goes on, and now this is how it appears when it is observed from the other side. Now here you will find that the GTO is seeing what is a grasp of the candidate. He is also seeing what are these priorities, what is his planning ability, okay, and what is his practical intelligence. It comes out very clearly in a synthetic situation which is given like this. Thereafter, the organization of the resources, then comes the impact on others. Here you will find, without much of, I would say, uh, how are you presenting your case? How do the others react? How do you react to others' plan? Do you look into their eyes? Are you sarcastic? Are you able to take the other people along with you? So these kind of aspects will come out in on the impact on others. And then remember that it is both your content and the manner, whether your plan is good and whether you are speaking in the correct manner, which will appeal to the others. So you will find these kind of aspects are also coming out clearly during the discussion. Now, when the discussion finishes, you will find that the candidate the candidates will be nominating one of the person. Now, how to go about the discussion part? Listen carefully both to the GTO and to the other candidates. It's very important that, because you might be speaking the same aspect as what the other person is saying. So both of you at times find that, I have seen it many times, both are saying the same thing, but both of their tone is in such a way that it appears that they don't agree with each other. Okay. Now, correlate the model while reading the narrative also, and while explaining to the candidates who are the other ones, your group members. When you explain your plan, there should be some correlation which will help others to get what you want to convey. And both the written and the discussion also should be realistic. Remember that the aim of the discussion is to arrive at a consensus. So don't keep hanging on to your own point and don't get upset about other people countering your argument. Try to initiate a positive discussion. A lot of candidates ask me, should I start or should I listen to others and then start? You can initiate because it's a free for all task. So there is a principle called free association which is attributed to this task. So you are free to start the initiate, or you want to initiate, or you want to be the first few speakers. There is nothing wrong. In fact, it is good that way. Okay. And try to listen and try to get the best plan. Okay. Getting the best plan and your contribution to get the best plan will be noticed. And that will be not only noticed by the GTO, it will be noticed even by the candidates, because this is a group task. So your contribution towards the task and the group both will come. That is where we talk of a concept called as effective level of functioning. And because it is a synthetic field, your practical things will come out later. As far as your synthetic planning and your ability to convince others, these kind of things come out very clearly in this task. Okay. With this, I finished this video on the group planning exercise. If you like the content and if you want more of this, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.